Hello, my Buckeye friends out there. This is Buckeye Vinny coming to you with another segment. Number one, I just want to start off with all you fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. Now, let's talk football. All of my subscribers, my friends, my fans out there, you all know that Buckeye Vinny, I'm all about stats, and especially Ohio State football stats. So, I'm going to throw this stat out to you. You might know it, you might not. So I'm here, hopefully, to help you out. If you don't know it, fine. Let's start right now. And this is going to be about college football and overtime games and records. Now, for those that didn't know, college football, the overtime system started in 1995. And the first two teams in college to face one another in OT was the Toledo Rockets and Nevada. They were the first two teams to implement that it came down to it, an overtime period. I'm going to go through and give you the teams and some of their records, that what they are, wins and losses in only overtime games. Well, you know for a fact, I got to start off with my boys, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Since 1995 to the present, the Buckeyes have appeared in 13 overtime games in the history of Buckeye football. 13. They have a remarkable record of 11 wins and only 2 losses. Under Urban Meyer, he was a perfect 6-0 in overtime. Under my man, Jimmy Tressel, he was 5-1. And to round it out, Luke Fickell in 2011 was unsuccessful to win an OT. He was 0-1. So if you do the math, it comes out to 11-2, the Buckeyes in overtime games. Moving on, we have, Alabama. This surprised me a little bit. Alabama appeared in 14 overtime games. Folks, believe it or not, I was a little shocked. They are under 500 in overtime wins and losses. Bama Crimson Tide have won 6, lost 8. Clemson appeared in 13 overtime games, 7-6, barely above 500, my friends. LSU Tigers appeared in 15, won 8, lost 7. Georgia Bulldogs appeared in 14, 8-6. So, my friends, other than the Buckeyes, I just named 4 other, in my opinion, top 5 programs in all of college football. And they were barely over 500. I just named them. And a team under 500, which shocked me, Alabama Crimson Tide, 6-8. This team really shocked me, but I got to give them kudos. Is the team up north, and yes, I got to say it, because it was impressive in the Big Ten. Michigan Wolverines appeared in 14 overtime games, and they have an impressive record of 11 wins and only 3 losses. Very impressive. And yes, I'm a Buckeye fan saying that. Moving on, we have Northwestern, the Wildcats, Big Ten representative, 19 appearances in overtime games. This also impressed me for Northwestern. 13 wins and only 6 losses. Oregon Ducks, they've appeared in 19 overtime games. They are barely over 500, but they are. 10 wins, 9 losses. TCU Horned Frogs, they've appeared in 19 overtime games. Won 9, dropped 10. But the 2 teams that have appeared in the most overtime games are Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee impressed me without a doubt. Now, Tennessee's always had, for the most part, a good football program. They went downhill the past couple years, but I see an incline for them. But nonetheless, they have appeared in 20 overtime games, won 12, and lost 8. Texas A&M, the Aggies, also appeared in 20 overtime games. And folks, I'm just going to tell you this, my friends, this really jumped out at me. 20 overtime games, Texas A&M Aggies won 14 and only lost 6. That really jumped out at me. And again, you know, if you're going to date back to college football, say in the past 20 years, 25 years, Texas A&M has had some really good teams. They really have. Let's not forget Johnny Manziel. He went there. He quarterbacked them. And he had 2 very good seasons for them. Tennessee, like I said, Tennessee, we all remember, without a doubt, when Peyton Manning went to Tennessee, look how well they had football tradition under the leadership of Manning at quarterback. So, again, some of these teams I mentioned, very rich football. Oregon Ducks, okay? Yes, they do have a winning record in overtime games, 10-9. But I'm just going to tell you, when you think of Oregon, you think of football. And yes, I'm throwing Oregon Ducks out there. We all remember what they did last year with the 12-2 record. So, again, folks, I said I'm all about stats, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. But I'm just going to say it and say it again. When I was doing my segment on this and throwing numbers together, this was a great segment for me. You know I'm a numbers guy. I enjoyed it very much. I'm a stat guy. And it really did jump out at me that Bama, Clemson, LSU, and Georgia, you know, if you sit down and scope it out, it's nothing to write home about what their records are in overtime. And then I mentioned the 2, in my opinion, one of the 2 top Big Ten teams, without a doubt, the Ohio State Buckeyes, jumping out at you with 11 wins and only 2 losses. And yes, I did give kudos to Michigan Wolverines, 11 wins and 3 losses. So, again, my friends, I hope everybody enjoyed this segment of college overtime wins and losses. Again, for all my friends out there, my subscribers, please continue to subscribe. Click on my picture up here. Most of all, please comment. I love your comments. If you like this segment I put together, please click on the like button. And like always, peace out. God bless. Go Buckeyes.